Okay, welcome to another email video in the series on how to help you have a better, healthier liver, which is going to impact all the things we talked about in the first video. So today I wanted to talk to you about something that you can specifically do to keep your body healthy for the long term and even prevent cancer. So one of the things that Rachel Carson, you remember that Silent Spring? Very famous. She was talking about the water in an area back in, was it the 70s? Early 70s, late 60s. And that was when we first really became aware of the challenge of environmental toxins. But she said that the reason why she thought these environmental toxins caused cancer is threefold. She said, first, they damage chromosomes and could cause genetic mutations. And we know that over 20 to 30 years, those genetic mutations can cause the cells to reproduce wrongly, which is basically what cancer is. So the other thing she said is that they're able to mimic and disrupt sex hormones. Now, hormones are the messengers that go to each part of the organs in our brain, in our bodies. And those messengers tell different organs what to do. And so those messengers are very, very important. If, for example, in the embryonic phase or the fetal development of an infant, those messengers are telling the cells where they're supposed to go, where those specialized cells, because we start off as a mass or a blastocyst of cells that expands into other areas and becomes our nervous system and our brain and our eyes and different parts of our body. Well, if those endocrine disruptors are interfering with those messages, it could cause permanent damage. As an adult, we find that the damage is less severe or often less noticed until later on in life. The third thing that she said was a big problem with these chemicals is that they alter the enzyme-directed processes of metabolism. And I found this really interesting, that all those years ago, she was that right on. Suzanne Somers interviews 8 different cancer doctors in the book Breakthrough. And many of them say that they use a bottle of Wobenzyme, which is proteolytic enzymes, a day for each of their patients. So these natural doctors that are having good results give their patients a bottle of enzymes per day to help them overcome. And I think enzymes are used in so many of our body processes, and we don't eat our food raw. So our body's required to use up the enzymes that we have. There's some thought that we all need to be eating digestive enzymes with every meal, because especially after the age of 30. Whether that's true or not, one of the other things I wanted to mention is that this book says that carcinomas are cancers that develop in the epithelial tissues or the surfaces of the organs. One of the biggest damagers of epithelial tissue is trans fats from fried foods. So even if you were to go to, say, which brags about being able to change the oil every single day, they have 7 bins. So when they change the oil in 1 bin every day, the chances are you are still getting oil or food from oil that's been fried for a week. And that causes more trans fats each time it's continually heated, each time it's used, especially when it's polyunsaturated fats, because each location of unsaturation gives another chance for oxidation to damage that oil. So one of the biggest things you can do to prevent future cancers is avoiding polyunsaturated oils, especially if they're heated, as in fried foods. So I hope this helps you. Fried foods are so hard to stay away from because we love them so much, right? But when I keep that in mind, the endothelial damage, one of the books, Deep Nutrition, that I was reading said that the endothelial damage after 1 serving of French fries is so much so that it goes from 17% function down to almost zero. And this doctor saw that study, went into the hospital and asked everyone who had been in there because of a heart attack what their last meal was. Every single one of the people in that study that she did, and granted it probably wasn't huge, but every single one of them had had some form of fried foods before their entrance into the hospital. And I want to stop you from having to go through that. So I hope this series is helpful for you, and stay healthy, my friends.